Yeah, I just wanted to say that, the Next Genius Scholarship is not just a scholarship for me, because, I believe that the greatest gift that you can give a person is to give them hope and courage to dream. And that is exactly what Next Genius has done for me. So I believe that the scholarship, apart from the, there's the monetary benefit, okay, but apart from that, the Next Genius provides such a strong community of, scholars and people who continuously have your back. So, that's, I think, the biggest qualities of, being associated with Next Genius.
So hey guys, today we have batch of 2025 students who got into prestigious US universities via Next Genius program. And today we have Adya here who got into Syracuse University in New York. So hi Adya, can you please introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background? Like what college, what school you're from, what board did you choose, and how was your journey to even think about studying abroad?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Harnoor, for having me here. It's an honor to be featured on your channel. About me, I'm Adya, and I'm a Next Genius full tuition scholarship winner to Syracuse University. And I'm going to start this fall, and I'm going to pursue my undergrad CS degree from there. And I'm from Ranchi, Jharkhand, and in the CBSE board. I'm currently in grade 12. And regarding my thoughts behind studying abroad, actually, they're a bit like mixed because first of all, my brother also studied in the US. So I had a bit of, exposure to how things work there. And I remember I attended his commencement ceremony, and I was really influenced by the way they taught people and the general environment of a US university and the flexibility they offer in terms of course choice and everything. So that was the first reason. And the second reason is that I really am I'm a dancer. So I wanted to go to a place where I'm, not pigeonholed into, one particular major or, one particular stereotype. I want to continue my extracurriculars as well as, along with my studies. So those are the two things that really attracted me about the US.
So now when you will go to your college orientation, how would you introduce yourself? What are the points that make you very unique?
That's a really interesting question. I would say that the thing that really makes me unique would be that in spite of being in a STEM major, I'm also very arts oriented because I've been dancing since I was 3, and currently I'm a national cultural ambassador for ODC dance awarded by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. So it's we often think of CS majors and, STEM backgrounds as something really different from arts. But I think I believe that they both are really intertwined. And I wrote about it in my personal statement as well. The next thing would be that I really love, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And that is exactly why I decided that I want to study 8,000 miles away. And which is why I applied for the scholarship, and now I'm really proud and happy that I've got it.
So how did you choose your university? Did you always had in mind you want to go to Syracuse University, or what are the universities did you apply, and how you finally decide on Syracuse University?
Yeah, so actually, I think many international students will relate with this. The thing is that I wanted to go to a university which offered me good scholarship. The financial factor was the biggest factor for me. So I specifically, wanted to apply to those colleges that have good financial aid packages, especially for international students, because that is extremely rare to find. So along with that, I was also looking for colleges that have good CS programs or engineering programs. And Syracuse was the sweet spot in between, because I'll share the story with you. My Next Genius journey was actually started with an accident, because I was randomly scrolling through my Instagram feed one day, and suddenly this post pops up informing about the Next Genius scholarship. And before that, I hadn't heard about it. And from that day, I clicked on the post. At first, I'll be very honest with you, I thought that, okay, maybe it's not true because it sounds too good to be true. Giving a full scholarship to a student to pursue their studies abroad is would my dream come true. But once I clicked on it, and then I got in touch with the Next Genius team. I still remember the day. I talked with Radha ma'am, and she told me about the process. And after talking to her, I felt like, this is a wonderful opportunity. And from there, it took off. And now I'm here sitting before you today as an Next Genius scholarship winner.
Wow, that's really, really cool. So how will you describe yourself academically? Like, were you like excellent or extraordinary student or above average? But if you want to share your scores, you can share as well, 9th, 10th, 11th or 12th.
So academically, I would say that I would leave it up to you to decide. But I've always been a sincere student. Like throughout my school career, even from like third grade, fourth grade, my parents like have never like forced me to sit down and study at one place. No, but I think it is something that I did myself. And uh, throughout my school career, like I've always scored above 95%, 96%. Like I would tell you, my scores in ninth grade, I got 97%. In 10th boards, I scored 98.4%. And in 11th grade as well, I my school, and I know many schools in India, especially CBSE and ICSE schools, practice some severe grade deflation policies. But I worked really hard, and despite of those policies, I managed to score, like I was among the toppers. So I would say that I've been really sincere about my studies since the beginning. So those are my stats about GPA. Like if you were to consider my SAT scores, I know this year the admissions process was test optional, but I still sent in my scores because the first and the only SAT I took was in 10th grade. And there's a funny story behind it, was that actually it was supposed to be a practice test. Like I know my mom told me that, just take the test as practice, So I just went there. I remember it was October in 10th grade. I took the test and I scored a 1510 on my first attempt. So that was, so that that was what I was happy with the score. So I did not retake the SAT again. So if I had not taken the SAT that day, then probably I wouldn't have sent in my scores either. But because I had those scores like back in 2018 with me, so I thought, why not send it?
Oh, but did you do any practice before actually taking the test, or just randomly thought and just took it?
No, it wasn't random at all. I think I prepared about for 2 months for it, and I didn't take any like specialized coaching or anything. It was just me, my laptop, and just googling stuff on the internet, and practicing questions. And I didn't really refer to any particular book or something. I just read some blogs and strategies online. And then the resource that I used the most was Khan Academy. I remember like I had practiced more than 5,000 questions at the end, like before taking my test. So yeah, it was really helpful, and it was all for free. So I would say that yeah, that really helped me. And I did prepare for it, but it was nothing crazy.
Incredible. And now let's talk about your extracurriculars. So you already said you were a dancer, and what other points did you mention in your extracurricular activities or in essay, such as leadership roles, or all the points you want to share?
Sure. So I'm actually very involved in many extracurriculars, but I would say that my extracurriculars are very focused, in the sense that they're restricted to like some domains. Like I'm not like they're not scattered all over the place. Like people have this misconception that you need to do volunteer work, dancing, MUN, all that stuff, but I didn't do any of that. But what I did was, since I've been so passionate about dancing, like since a very young age, so I applied for some scholarships. The Ministry of Culture, Government of India, has a scholarship called the Cultural Talent Search Scholarship. And as part of that, I received the scholarship, and I now act as a national cultural ambassador and scholar for Odissi dance in India. And as part of those duties, like the government funds me for honing my craft and mastering the art from top gurus, and organizing workshops. And I've mentored over 100 kids as part of our duties. So it's a huge responsibility, and I've spent like I've given a lot of time to that. And apart from that, I've also been involved in my school student government. I've been the class representative for over like 5 or 6 years now, and I'm still an active member of the student government. And apart from that, I'm deeply passionate about increasing women's representation in STEM. So I have mentored underprivileged women in my locality in programming and given them some English lessons, just to, to give them that voice and independence that they deserve. And other than that, I have also performed and won several local, state, and national, and even international competitions. Like recently, I represented my state, Jharkhand, in the national level Kala Utsav or Talent Fest competition organized by the Ministry of Education and NCRT, Government of India. And I also had the honor and privilege of performing before the dance maestro herself, Padma Vibhushan Sonal Mansingh, at the Odissi International Festival. And other than that, I also love spontaneous speech and extemporary competitions, and I've also won many local and state awards in that. So I guess those are the kind of domains that I have been involved in, and like you might already know that they are not scattered all over the place. They are very focused, and many people. One thing that I've noticed is that many people think that doing X activity or Y activity will get them into X college or Y college. It doesn't work like that. All the activities and extracurriculars that I have done so far were purely because I enjoyed doing them. I never really, had this concept that, okay, doing this would get me here or that would get me there. So I purely did them for the sheer joy in it.
That is so amazing to hear. I can easily tell that some of the activities were very focused on dancing and as well as focused on science. So you gave your 100% in both of those fields, I can say, right? Yeah.
Right.
And one of the last question would be, so you did the entire application process on Next Genius. You didn't have to go outside Next Genius to apply, right? Everything was handled by them. Like from starting from level 1 test, right? So right.
Yeah, actually, the thing is that the Next Genius Foundation would be behind your back every step of the way. Like you wouldn't have to, there's no room for any doubt or any speculation as such. You can always consult them. They'll be very happy to help you out. And especially, like, I know the entire team helps you out so much. Like they're like at the end of this process, like I remember a year ago, I didn't even know about Next Genius, but now they're they are like family now. So, that's the connection that we have built. So, and that is the level to which like they would help you out. So this entire process starting, like if I were to talk about my Next Genius journey, like I mentioned before, I started from a random post on Instagram one day, and from there I started with the process. And the application form, the level 1 form, comes out in June. So I signed up for it, and when it opened, I guess I would have been the first person to fill that form. Like I was waiting for it when it will come out, and I filled that form, and then I took a simple test. It's a very simple test. It's just basic math and English skills, like 10th grade level. You'll be able to do fine if you have those sorted. And after that, they will contact you if you proceed to the next round. And in the level 2, you will have to fill another form in which there are 2 main components. First is that you have to give your college preference. Next Genius partners with 14 colleges, or at least like this year it did. And you have to choose 3 or maybe 5 colleges from those. And you have to submit a video essay. Now, a video essay is where you generally talk about your interests, about why you want to go to the US, and what things interest you, and why you applied, or why you want to choose that particular university. So after that, the level 2 form is done, and from after that, they will contact you based on which university you have been allotted. You will choose 3 or 5 universities, but you will be allotted only one, your top choice, or if not, your second top choice. So from there, it will be a group of 25 to 30 people in a group who will have, the same college allotted to them. And from there, and throughout this process, you will be supported and, guided to Next Genius webinars, and there's like literally tons of resources that Next Genius will provide you throughout this journey. And you will also have past Next Genius scholars as your mentors. You can ask any question you have to them. They will also take a sort of, interview sort of thing with you. And one of the Next Genius team members will also take, I won't call it an interview. It will be like a discussion. And from there, you have to work on your Common App. Now, for working, I apply no matter which college you choose, you will apply through the Common App, because all the colleges are Common App affiliated. So you have to polish on your Common App as well, because you have to write your personal statement and work on, how you're going to present your extracurriculars. And throughout this process, you will have Next Genius to support you. And after that, the final step, which sounds daunting, but is actually was the most interesting part of the entire process, is the interview. And in the interview, it's not, I won't call it an interview, it's more of a group discussion. So this year it was online. I think it was the first time that it was online, and we had it we had a 2-day interview. On the first day, it was mostly an information session and, a one-on-one meeting with our university-specific admission officers, and they talked more about the university itself and, answered your questions. And on the second day, we had a group discussion. So in that, we shared our ideas, and it was such an amazing experience, to be with people who are, so talented and who have so much to share, and, to just have a meaningful discussion with them. That was a great experience. So, and it would not feel like an interview at all. It would be so easy, and things would just flow. So there's nothing to, be anxious about regarding the interview. And after that, the results will be declared, and yeah, so that's the process.
Wow, that's pretty to the point, and it's a straightforward process. Thank you so much for sharing that. A lot of students still think that 100% scholarship is a myth. It's like out of their ability to, to get it. So how much do they cover? Is it like 100% with housing or without housing? I think housing has to be paid by yourself, right?
Right. 100% scholarship means 100% tuition scholarship. So they will entirely cover your tuition and fees. The living expenses, such as the housing and food and transportation and health insurance, will be borne by the student. Yeah, I just wanted to say that the Next Genius scholarship is not just a scholarship for me, because I believe that the greatest gift that you can give a person is to give them hope and courage to dream, and that is exactly what Next Genius has done for me. So I believe that the scholarship, apart from the, there's the monetary benefit, okay, but apart from that, the Next Genius provides such a strong community of, scholars and people who continuously have your back. So, that's, I think, the biggest qualities of, being associated with Next Genius. So, I have also told the team members once that, if I ever get an opportunity in life, I would definitely pay this, forward in terms of maybe establishing my own scholarship one day. I'm like, so yeah, so that's what Next Genius means to me.
Incredible. So thank you so much, Adya, for your incredible knowledge. It was a pleasure to have you, and your knowledge will definitely help a lot of prospective students. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Harnoor, for having me. It was a pleasure to be featured on your channel, and I love your videos so much, and I watch them a lot. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, indeed.